giving everyone some updates about what's going on with the good old stock market and the whole Wall Street bets Robinhood thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about updates Sunday morning for you. So first of all, the thing I want to start out talking about is something I'm so disappointed in with this whole thing is Discord. Discord, how could you have shut down the server? Let me explain why this makes me so mad. As you know, I am a huge gamer. I've been using Discord for so many years. Mostly started out using it for World of Warcraft to communicate with, other people that I was in a raid with. And now I use Discord for everything at my university, for my communication with esports at my university. That's how we use it for all of our games, for our communication in our club and everything. And I love Discord. Discord was always seen as like the little guy in a big space, making it because they made it for gamers so that we could be, discreet, so that we could use less resources on our computer and all that good stuff. And they shut down the Wall Street Bets Discord server, which I can't look. So they claimed, I see the reason they claimed they shut it down because they said something bad, like there was bad language or something like that. But you know what? I've been on so many Discord servers for years. I've seen the worst of the worst language. Terrible stuff. And guess what? It's usually moderated. We have bots and we have moderators, and they automate that stuff and get rid of it and help the community. I've never in my life seen Discord just shut down a server like that. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely just makes me so mad that Discord would do something like that. So I'm really, really, really disappointed in what Discord did. So that's me to Discord right now, my feelings towards them. They can still make it up because I like Discord as a company. I want to hear more about this before I make any big decisions about it. But I'm really frustrated that they would do something like this, especially because it's a service that I use so much for the gaming community, for the people who are the ones buying GameStop, AMC, BlackBerry, and all the meme stocks right now. That's what makes me so upset about it, Discord. So hopefully you guys can fix that. All right, let's talk about some other updates. So if you guys didn't see it, we made Saturday Night Live last night, which is just awesome. They talked a little. They had one little segment on the whole GameStop saga, but it was actually not a very good segment at all. I thought it was kind of dumb, but that's besides the point. It's the fact that it made it. Remember, any publicity is good publicity in areas like that. So the fact that they talked about GameStop was good. I could tell that the writers had no clue what's really happening with GameStop because of what they said. You got to remember, we didn't just think GameStop was going to go up because of the shorts. That's not why we thought the company was going up. We thought that the shorts were incorrect and that GameStop was actually restructuring their management. They were going to close some retail stuff, head into the online space, and we thought they had a pretty viable business model going forward. Not that it was going to be awesome, but we thought the shorts were wrong. It wasn't that GameStop's this dying business. We thought that, they have some good investors and owners now and new management that we thought was going to do a lot of good things. So, the way Saturday Night Live made fun of it was kind of funny still, I guess, but it wasn't exactly what we were talking about. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on. So first of all, I'm super excited to see the market tomorrow morning. That's kind of like a big thing to see what happens, with the futures overnight. I want to see what goes on. I need to see, I'm really curious to see what happens with the futures. I'm really curious to see what happens at market open tomorrow. Is Robinhood going to continue to shut us down? There's lots of problems with Robinhood right now. I'm hearing all sorts of rumors. People putting in cash aren't able to make purchases. Robinhood has shut down over 50 different stocks from trading right now, or at least from buying, and just all kinds of crazy stuff is happening right now. So let me talk a little bit about what some of like the speculation of all this stuff is, and then let's get into Wall Street Bets and take a look at some of the discussion over there. I'm just going to show you some of the main posts happening right now, but some of the big the big kind of discussion that's been happening right now, the things that I'm hearing about Robinhood is I do think Robinhood has, man, put like, here's a rock, here's a hard place, here's Robinhood. Like, they have put themselves in a terrible situation. I have a feeling they're going to be shut down. I can't wait to see the mass exodus. As I told you, first of all, I haven't been using Robinhood a lot for the last year, but I do have a significant amount of stocks in their service, which I started to transfer on Thursday or Friday, and I'm putting them over to Fidelity. I've been using Fidelity primarily over the last year anyway, so that's been my main place to trade. The only thing I've actually been trading at Robinhood is Bitcoin, and I'm trying to transfer my I'm going to be transferring my crypto exchange over to, right now I'm considering Binance to do my crypto changes, but I'm looking at a couple other companies like Gemini, Kraken, and a few others to see where I want to do my crypto trading. But right now, Binance is like the top of my choice. I'm in the process of signing up for an account to see if that'll work out for me, to see if I like it. So we'll see how long it takes them to approve me and whether I like their account once I'm in and can play around with it a little bit. But that's where I am right now with that. Okay, so let's talk about over the weekend, lots and lots of rumors, lots of speculation, lots of things coming about. So basically the big rumors are that if Robinhood and these other firms would have just let things happen, the whole entire market was going to crash. Now, do I believe that would have happened? No, I don't think that would have happened. And if that is the case, our market is so fragile, it needs to crash so that we can redo it, because that's a bunch of BS. The rationale behind our market crashing was that what was going to happen is that so many several big hedge funds have shorted these stocks, that what was going to happen is these hedge funds were going to have to sell their assets to pay for all the loss. And what people are saying is that these hedge funds are leveraged significantly, up to 5 to 10 times their value. So if a hedge fund is worth $10 billion, they might be leveraged anywhere from $50 to $100 billion out. That means if they lost their money, they're only worth 10, 12 million. They couldn't pay. So what we're talking about is a large exodus of a liquidation of everything that they own. So that's one of the reasons people are saying that this could have caused the market to crash. Additionally, like teachers' unions and pension funds and stuff are invested in some of these hedge funds. So it would liquidate all of their investments that those places have in there. So let me talk about that for a second. I'm a part of a pension system, and I'll tell you what, I got to go into my pension system this week. But if I find out that my pension system is a part of any kind of hedge fund and engaged in any kind of risky behavior like this, I'm going to write a letter to make sure and start to get people to want it to be pulled out, because there is no way that a pension, any kind of retirement fund, should be involved in risky behavior like this unless I personally want my retirement to be engaged in some kind of risky behavior like that. Now, I do personally have a 401k that I do all kinds of risky stuff, right? I take all kinds of bets because this is the way, this is what you do. And I don't care about it. It's fine. If I lose all that 401k today, I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. So I know I'll recoup it. I also know I have a pension, so I want my pension. Pensions should be so, and like things like Social Security, pensions, all that kind of money should be in extremely low risk funds and bonds. That's it. Should be making a little bit of interest off extremely low risk, low volatile, can take a market crash, all that good stuff. Should not be invested in anything. And in fact, most people, your 401ks, you know what? You shouldn't be in a hedge fund. You should be in an S&P 500 just following it. That's it. 99% of investors that have no idea what they're doing besides their play money that they want to put into these meme stocks and have fun in the stock market, S&P 500. I mean, that's why Warren Buffett says these hedge funds can't beat that. Okay, so that's me talking about the pension funds and stuff, which is super annoying to me right now that pensions are actually losing money to this, because the fact that these hedge funds are doing this should just be illegal. They should not be able to take a teacher's pension and put it into a short of a company like this. Okay. The other thing that really makes me mad about these, the whole legality of everything before we get into what's going on at Wall Street Bets, uh, the other thing that makes me really, really angry about this whole thing is that these hedge funds are actually allowed to short a company. So they're allowed to all band together, like their whole fund, take a hedge fund is allowed to take a million different people's money, use it to short a company like GameStop, and then they're allowed to go on TV and they're allowed to say this company's failing, no one should invest in it. Then they're allowed to have articles written about that no one should invest in this company. They're able to pay for advertising. They're able to do every single thing that me as an individual investor is not supposed to be doing because it's illegal. I mean, for example, take Wall Street Bets. We're not allowed to organize and all say, "Hey guys, we all are going to band together and buy this stock." Like that's supposed to be illegal, but yet that's exactly 100% what a hedge fund is designed to do. That's what it is. It's taking a bunch of money and all putting it towards the same place. I mean, if you want to talk about that, it's illegal for us at Wall Street Bets to talk about banding together and joining forces, and I don't think we should do that. But if people want to talk about how that's illegal, then all hedge funds should be 100% illegal because that's what it is. Okay, let's talk about what's going on over at Wall Street Bets right now. And so what I'm excited for, I'm excited to wake up tomorrow morning and watch this whole thing unfold. If the market crashes, the market crashes, so be it. It shouldn't, but people are trying to blame it on us. Oh yeah, the market, Apple and Microsoft are crashing because what's happening is these hedge funds have to sell all their shares. No, that's not happening yet. And if Robinhood really, really, really wanted to, they were having big problems, they should have shut down their whole site. I mean, we could have given them an excuse for that, right? I mean, how many times has Robinhood shut their site down? Like 20? I mean, even in the last year, they did it in March and whenever else. It seems like all the time, Robinhood's always down having problems. All right, let's see what's going on over on Wall Street Bets. So, I just want to pull up some of the big articles, things. So this article, Elite Billionaires Scaremongering. Goldman warns if the short squeeze continues, the entire market could crash. I tried to find some research on this and I couldn't really. I did check out that website, Talk Markets, and I couldn't really find anything about that. The Goldman did say that. I do find them saying that about multiple different things over the last few weeks and months. But I couldn't find anything about this in general, so I don't know if they really said that about what's happening at Wall Street Bets. You got to remember, we've got some like bots and some like people in here that are trying to actually scare us by saying, "Oh no, the market's going to crash. Like you guys better stop doing what you're doing. You're going to crash everything." But what I don't think people understand is we want to crash the market. That's fine if that's what happens. If that's the end result of what we're doing, then so be it. I mean, what people don't understand is we're a bunch of people who invested. I mean, not myself necessarily, because I have a lot more money in it, and there are a lot of us that do. But a lot of the people investing might only invested $50 or $100 or $500 because that's all they have, because that's all they can afford. And they can afford to lose it. And you know what? If I lose everything I have in there to change the market, then so be it. That's what I don't think these hedge funds understand, is that we're in it to lose everything. We are actually here to lose everything. If that's what happens, that's what happens. If we lose everything, we're okay with that. We actually brag about losing everything. So it's something I can post about. So, they need to stop getting so excited that that's going to scare us. It's not going to scare us. Let's see some other stuff. Talking about the guy who kind of came up with it. This guy watched The Big Short, finally gets it. That's awesome. I mean, that movie is scary, when you see what really happened. And I don't think what people understand is the guy, Michael Burry, that's his name. I hope I have that correct. He's very aware of what we're doing at Reddit because he's tweeted about it before. He's one of the people that convinced me to buy GME. Let me explain. A few months ago, it might have even been like November. I can't remember exactly when it was. The guy from The Big Short, he went in and invested a whole. GameStop's one of his biggest holdings. He went in and invested a ton of money in GameStop. You got to remember what's happening right now is not like this secret thing. Anyone could have searched the guy from The Big Short and see what his hedge fund, what his fund he's running, what are his biggest investments. GameStop's like in the top 3 of his biggest holdings. So if people are just emulating what he does, they're going to be rich right now from GameStop. He only has like 10 to 15 stocks that he holds, and GameStop's one of them. It was one of the reasons I trusted the theory about what was happening at Wall Street Bets, because trust me, as I've said before, these guys on this site, there are like 10 to 20 different cool GameStop short squeezes things offered on this site. Not offered, but like the people present their theory a day. You have to pick and choose what you think is good and bad, and 99.9% of them are bad. I've watched so many people lose all their money. So one of the reasons I liked GameStop was because the guy from The Big Short was actually invested in it. So there was some plausible truth to what everyone was talking about. Let's see. Just some funny stuff. Let's see what's going on. Other things happening. These are funny. I think the creativity of this site is one of the things that has just made me. It's the only site that I look at as a somewhat serious discussion that makes me crack up 24/7. Like, I remember just being like in the beginning of the pandemic, like it was one of the places that caused me to laugh all the time because of pictures like this. I mean, this is just hilarious. And you know what? The way that we cheer each other on and make fun of each other, while also the creativity and the brilliance of the videos that are created, the commercials, the images, the time people spend on it is awesome and hilarious. And I love seeing that kind of creativity from a group. So I think that that's awesome. Um, yeah, so something that, people are talking about this post right here. Amid the enthusiasm, there's a dangerous misconception forming that needs to be quashed. And basically what they're talking about right there is that, trying to make it well known that, hey, someone asked, what are my favorite threads specifically from Wall Street Bets? Oh man, there's tons and tons of them. As far as like what Reddits I follow a bunch of them, like Wall Street Bets, stock market, finance, all the FIRE groups, financial independence, stuff like that. But man, some of my favorite things. I think the funniest, most recent thing that I've seen in Wall Street Bets come up was the gourd discussion. Not the guy who originally posted about his gourds, but man, all the posts that followed. And this was like 2 weeks ago, so it's really easily searchable. That's probably one of the most hilarious things that I've found on Wall Street Bets that has happened in a long time. I thought that was great. Guy invested his life savings. He had this whole theory about gourds and gourd futures, and he did it, somehow did it incorrectly and lost like everything, which is a terrible story. But man, the amount of funniness and comedy from the community was hilarious. And to make this guy feel better, so it was pretty good. I liked that a lot. I was happy to see that. But what I like to see on here, I like to see two things. I like to see the people who took a chance and made it, and I like to see the people who took a chance and come in and admit that, hey, I messed up and lost everything. It's those two extremes that I read this site for. And we come in and talk about it, and I like the attitude of people. Man, these people literally, I've been reading this site, I don't know, probably for 2 years, I think since summer of 2019. And at first I was like, what is this community, man? These people scare me. And then I started to get it and thought that these guys were hilarious. But just the fact that people are literally bragging about we're cheering each other on for making really probably terrible decisions. And I just think that's hilarious. It's almost like I'm in like a couple collecting communities, and like collectors of like different kind of cards, coins, stuff like that. They cheer each other on for like buying these things that are really like worthless, but they have value to the collecting community. And it's kind of like that, but this is even better because we're like all trying to hit the lottery here. And it's just kind of funny, man. It's hilarious to watch and see, and it's just a good community, and it's funny. It's like it is. We are, um, you know, this is the one cool thing about this community right now is we are actually uniting the extreme polar opposites of the political spectrum right now. We are uniting. We've got Republicans going to Times Square tonight to actually, or today, to actually protest this, what's going on, and they're calling it Occupy Wall Street 2 or something like that. Republicans, who were the opposite of Democrats during Occupy Wall Street, are against this. Democrats, who are the extreme opposite of Republicans, are going to protest. Every single group right now is uniting together. We are uniting. It took, I mean, you look at our group, the words, the things that we call each other, literally a bunch of degenerates are uniting Democrats and Republicans who can't agree on one single thing. They can't agree on if it's nice or hot or cold outside today. Our group is uniting them together. That's how hilarious this situation. It's almost like a funny situation is so serious and has such good big consequences right now that I think a lot of us are in shock. I think I was like in shock when GameStop actually started flying up the way it did, but I wasn't like, oh, that, I was like, oh, they're right. Like good move, guys. I admitted that I sold my GameStop shares early. Bad choice by me, but I did. But now I'm back in on a bunch of other things. So it's just hilarious. It didn't hit me until Thursday morning when I saw what Robinhood did, how like the magnitude of what we were doing and what the group, just all these random people together were doing. But the thing about this post right here about deep effing value is people were trying to say like he kind of masterminded this, but that's not true whatsoever. He helped bring it to our attention. Yes, 100% he did. He had this theory, but you've got to remember when he posted that, I would say like most people were like, this dude is nuts. We're not listening to him. In fact, I remember reading and trying to research what he was talking about and thinking, okay, this guy's got, yes, exactly. He's one part. He is one big part of it. But I mean, I'll tell you what sold me on GameStop was that, I mean, first of all, I'm a big gamer, so I want to see companies like that succeed. And he's definitely not the only success story. There's many, but like, I looked up what he was talking about and I thought, okay, it seems like this guy has a good story here. He has a good case. Like I see what he's saying and it seems plausible, right? But that doesn't mean I believe him because as I said, whenever people post stuff on here, I always read it and I'm like, okay, this seems plausible. I'm not just investing in it. But when I saw the guy from The Big Short put a big stake in GameStop, I saw GameStop change their management. So there was like, it was like a bunch of things together started telling me, hey, I think that this is going to be something. There's a bunch of signs here. And that all those things combined are what told a lot of us to buy GameStop. It wasn't just because of one person. So we can't say this guy told us to do this and we can't, because the SEC is going to try to go after him if that's what the case. And that's so not the case whatsoever. He didn't convince me to buy GameStop. He was one piece of information out of 20 that helped me formulate an opinion whether I should buy this stock or not, as well as a bunch of other people. We all saw all these signs over time, and we're doing the same thing with a bunch of other stocks too. You want to look at Palantir Technologies, PLTR. You want to know why I invested in Palantir? It wasn't just because of Wall Street Bets. Yes, they helped me convince me to get in on the IPO and to want to do it, but it was watching the technology behind it, going back and seeing AI articles written by the Department of Defense about Palantir Technologies in 2018. It was me, even like 2 weeks ago when Kathy Woods, the ARK Fund, went and bought 500,000 shares. It was things like that that make me see this was a good investment. This is why, I'm holding PLTR for the long term. I'm not letting go of that. right now whatsoever. But like, it wasn't just this site doesn't convince me or not convince me to buy something. I'll just put it that way. You got to do research and figure things out and see. We just present a bunch of ideas here. We talk about our ideas and talk about what we're doing. Yeah, there are some crazy people who are like, YOLO, 15 grand, that's my life savings, and I'm putting it into whatever it happens to be today. You know, some kind of option. I'm not a big options trader. I do have some options. One of the big stocks I'm pushing right now that I think is going to be good is Ford. I think Ford is a good buy. That's one of the things I've been, looking at. But man, there's a bunch of others. It just, there's so many things we're talking about in this forum that it's just crazy. These pictures are hilarious. Like there's a rocket here ready to launch GME to the moon. I saw this one picture on here this morning, and it was like GameStop in 2021. It was a picture of a GameStop store with a bunch of Lamborghinis parked out front. Like that is hilarious. That's awesome. One of the best things I see this group doing right now, and it is what makes Wall Street Bets are two things. One, they are taking out ads and billboards and stuff to advertise GameStop right now, to advertise people buying it, which I think is freaking hilarious. The next thing that you see is a lot of people who've already made money. A lot of people that have already made money on GameStop, you know what they're doing? They are actually donating like $5,000 here, $1,000 here, too. They're going out and like buying a bunch of consoles and stuff and bringing them to like a children's hospital. Like this group is not a bunch of, we're not the bad, we're actually a bunch of good people. You take a dude who just made $20,000 and he's investing 25% of that to give back to the community. That is this community. That's what Wall Street Bets is. A bunch of literally degenerates who we admit we don't know what we're doing in this. None of us are financial advisors. I mean, there are some in the group, but I'm a smart guy. I have a Ph.D. I can do research, but I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I've enjoyed the stock market since 2001 when I started investing in it. It's just something fun. Like these videos, this is just hilarious that people have taken the time to make these and post them here. Oh man, yeah, this is this is the market closing up on Friday. And they're blaming it on us, and maybe it's true, but it's also the sign of a super unstable market. Like these cartoons are pretty funny. Like this whole, like they're talking about like smear campaign, restrict the market, and we're just all like, we're just here to buy the stock. We thought it was a good company. We're going to continue to keep buying it. We're not selling it. We're just going to hold. That's what these people don't seem to understand. I can't, like, they aren't like convincing us of anything. Nothing's happening. Yeah, that's what's hilarious is there are, someone just commented that there are like so many like of us are artists and graphic designers, and everyone's, streams and does all this cool stuff, and we're utilizing all those skills. The amount of technology and creativity that we see coming from this site is amazing. It's like I could actually do a research paper, and I'm doing something like this with esports right now where I'm saying like gaming is a way to bring together, like my actual research at my job as a professor is using gaming to bring together people to generate ideas and to collaborate and take like something interesting like esports and say, hey, we can get a bunch of people to actually come together for fun and start to learn how to utilize that to like have startups and cool stuff. This is what Wall Street Bets is doing. They're doing exactly what I've been telling people at my university to do right now. We take an interest like Wall Street Bets, gambling, and just take this community and look at the creativity and things people are doing. Like this is creativity, man. This is what it's about. You take people and let them, like, this is what school, at least a portion of school should be like. Yeah, exactly. Community of practice, community of inquiry. This is what school should be. Getting people excited about something, they will use their creativity to figure out what they're interested in to make that kind of a career, or to figure out what they like. Yeah, these billboards, man, this is This is like out of this world hilarious. I just can't even really believe that these are real. Like, this is just, someone took an ad out on Times Square. Like, this is just awesome. I love, love, love seeing the community here that is banding together. Like, this is just, these billboards are hilarious. Like, taking movies and changing what they're saying in the subtitle. Like, it's just hilarious. Now, this is crazy. The fact that there are 6 million new accounts in Wall Street Bets in the last week is crazy to me. Now, I admit, I think I have like 5 Reddit accounts, so I'm probably, well, no, none of the new accounts are mine or anything like that. But we look at the numbers of Wall Street Bets. I would assume a lot of other people like me have multiple Reddit accounts and have been on Wall Street Bets. So all my accounts are part of it. So, when we say numbers of accounts, it's tricky to say how many real people there are. Like, I have 5 accounts. One is myself with my name so that I can personally be identified. One is my gamer tag so that I can also be identified. And the other 3 are just random ones that I use. I've created throughout the years. So, there's a lot of people like that. But the fact that there are 6 million new people signed up here is good and bad. It's bad because now we got to search. We know, like, the SEC, we know, like, people who are against us are going to be just posting nonsense. And that was always the case. You always had to read through this forum. You could never just believe it. And there's always been bots. And I feel bad for the admins because I wouldn't want to be one of them right now. Yeah, this guy went to prison for insider trading. Why should Robinhood get away? I mean, it's just crazy. We're just going to have to see what happens tomorrow morning. I am debating just buying more. I'm up in the air about what I'm going to do, I'll be honest. But I've got a little bit of money that I can put into I've got a little bit that I can put into the market, and it's kind of sitting there in cash. And I may put it into the market tomorrow. The hardest thing for me is I've been saving up to buy a house. I'm building a house right now. I'm in the process of construction. So I have a bunch of money that I can't touch, which really sucks. Oh, here's the SNL thing. It was okay. I mean, I can tell they didn't understand what we're doing necessarily because they didn't mention it at all. They just kind of talked about GameStop in general, like the basic overview, but whatever. I mean, that's probably as much as like my wife understands too, Nice. Someone said they're buying more GME Monday. Yeah, I'm debating what I'm doing. I've got some cash. I got to figure out what I want to do, but I think I'm going to jump it in, throw it in somewhere. I've just got to figure out what price point, and I want to see what the futures do overnight and what what I really want to do. I can pre-purchase early in the market, and so I think Fidelity lets me buy at 7 a.m. or something like that. So I can purchase early if I want to. I do have a bunch of AMC. So I'm excited about that. I've also got a bunch of Bed Bath & Beyond. So the meme stocks I've got right now, I've got AMC, I've got Bed Bath & Beyond, I've got Palantir, which isn't really a part of this for some odd reason. I don't know why, but it's kind of funny that it's not. I've got a bunch of BlackBerry. And I bought GME in December, and then I sold it like the second day it was going up because I made a bad choice. I thought that was the short squeeze, so I made a really bad choice and sold a bunch of it because I just thought that was the end of it. I was happy I made money, and I was like, oh, that's it. I didn't realize like it was going to be what it is. That's me being a little skeptical and being happy I made money, but I should have held on, and I need to just put some more. I should have bought more on Thursday because I'm a part of Fidelity. I could have always bought it. I didn't have any problems not buying it. Cool to see deep F in value on all kinds of TV. It's just hilarious. It's pretty cool. I should really like. Oh yeah, someone had some BlackBerry. I have BlackBerry. I didn't buy BlackBerry as a short-term stock. I bought it more for like to see what happens over the next year. So I think you'll be able to get back into BlackBerry if you're out of it. I don't think none of us bought it for. It's not a short squeeze. The short interest flow on BlackBerry is really low. It's not like any of these other stocks. I think AMC. I think if AMC is allowed to trade, I think we're going to see GME go up to 1,000 potentially. I would have called someone crazy 2 weeks ago if they would have told me that. I thought GME, the short squeeze, was maybe going to push it up to like 30, which is why I sold around then. I thought it was crazy and nuts when it went up to 50. And then I think it could go up to 1,000. I think AMC could go up to like 30 or higher. I think BlackBerry, we could see it pushed up higher than that, maybe 50 to 75, even higher. Like, it's just earnings for this coming week. Does anyone care? I don't know. I do care. I have a lot of money in the market in like, I would say that 85% of my investing has been value investing over the last several years. So I do have a lot of money in the market in other stocks like Apple. I said I bought a bunch of Ford. I have Walmart, Verizon, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all those kind. I mean, that's where the bulk of my 401k is. But I don't think I care about anything next week. I am curious about PayPal, but I don't really have a lot invested in Amazon. I know is just going to have a good everything, because they always do, because it's Amazon and it's after Christmas. It's just crazy seeing people post these numbers, man. $200,000 off of some. I mean, this is what. Just, I mean, everyone buying options in here. I can't imagine the amount of people at Wall Street Bets that bought options and have no idea what an option even is. I mean, that's what's great about this, is that people just don't care. They're like, whatever, I'm just throwing my money in this. It's all good. Just this artwork that I'm seeing, like, this is awesome. Someone drew this. Someone took the time. They care about this topic so much to draw like this awesome picture. This I thought was pretty hilarious. Grandmother in a cage, not letting her go out until, like, that's just hilarious. I mean, that's just good comedy right there. Like, I read this forum to laugh. It makes me laugh every morning. Man, I read like Financial Independence and I'm depressed every day. I read Fat Fire Group and I'm depressed that I'm not as wealthy as the people in there. If you read Fat Fire, you will see you just feel poor. When they're like, I'm building a house. Should I put my helicopter pad on this part of the property? And you're just like, oh my God, like, okay, these people are in another league. But this forum's always made me, like a lot of this stuff is just cracking me up. Oh, nice. Someone said their dad's a banker and I was afraid to tell him, but, yeah, I mean, no, it's good now after the fact. Everyone's like, wow, you invested in GME. Like, you knew what you were doing. You made a good choice, right? Like, they were, but when we told people this in December, when I told my dad I was buying GameStop, he was like, what are you thinking? I told him, so I actually have a text, me and my dad having a conversation on December 23rd or 24th. And I was like, I'm buying GameStop, because he and I both invest together and kind of talk through things. I got him to buy 50 shares. So he bought 50 shares. He did sell them, but he made a bunch of money. So like a lot of the money he's given me over the last like lifetime, I just paid him back for it. So because I got him to buy 50 or 100 shares of GameStop. But I told him in December, I was like, look, let's buy GameStop. It's a risk, but hey, there's this chance that there could be a short squeeze on this stock. Let's get it. And I told him just to put some money in, and he did. I think he bought at least 50 shares. I can't remember. And I think he sold at like around 40, but he got in at like 17. He made a couple thousand, like he made money. Like he's happy. Now for someone like him that has like, that was like not even close to 1% of his portfolio, but still like, he was like, this is awesome. Like, that was great. Like, now he wants to know like what he should keep buying, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna lose all your money if you keep asking me, so don't ask me. Oh, this is the picture I saw earlier this morning. Obviously a dealership, but how hilarious is this? A bunch of Lamborghinis parked outside of GameStop. This is crazy. This is the picture. This picture right here describes Wall Street Bets to a T, and that's what I love. Like, I have kids, my 10-year-old, if I ask him what kind of car he wants a Lambo. He wants a Lamborghini. Like, that's just awesome. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, wanted a Ferrari and or a Lamborghini. Like, that's great. I love to see that kids, this is what they want to do. Like, that's hilarious and awesome. And this picture is everything that Wall Street Bets is right here. Like, that's just great. That's some of the stuff that I came up with, saw this morning that I thought was awesome. Just paying attention. But really the big thing is, I mean, look at this. We've got this dude, Hannity. Is this Hannity or is this, what's his name? This is one of the Fox News guys. Oh, Tucker. This is Tucker Carlson. That's right. My mind, whenever I'm talking, I can't think of like short-term, like factual information like that. I would be terrible on Jeopardy. It's funny, I have a doctorate and I can do like research and all this stuff, but like I forget like little factual information like that. So Tucker, this guy is Mr. Extreme. Hates anything to do with Democrats. Believed every conspiracy theory possible. Is all for Wall Street Bets. As I'm saying, everyone on the right, all the crazies on the right and all the crazies on the left. You take all the extremists on both sides and they are for what we're doing, which is just awesome. We've actually figured out how to unite these politicians. We're the people that need to be elected for things. Maybe we should be running for senators and we should be the people in charge. These people just argue about every single thing and don't want to do what's right. It just makes me so angry sometimes. That's pretty funny. Oh, reminding me of the internet. Someone posted, this might have been on Stock Market or there's a new, one of the new, it's called like Reddit tickers or something. It's like someone created the one of the, like a algorithm in Python to track like what tickers are trending on Reddit. And that's it's the Reddit tickers is the forum. And, it's like Wikipedia definition of Robinhood, and it's pretty funny. And actually, if you look at Wikipedia Robinhood right now, there's the whole controversy's part of Robinhood's page already, which is awesome. Yeah, see, check this out. Doing my part, paying it forward, a good fortune with donation of 6 Nintendo Switches and games at Children's Minnesota Hospital. These are the people. This is us. This is who it is. These are the people investing. These are the guys and girls. This is it. This is the community. They're actually doing what Robinhood should. They're doing what Robinhood should have done. They're actually taking from the rich and giving to the poor. That's it. This is Robinhood right here. This is it. I mean, look how awesome that is. Doing good. And this isn't the only story. This isn't like one. There's like 50 of these in the last 3 days that I've seen posted up here about people doing good deeds like this with money they made from this one sale. Just crazy. These are funny. Malvern Capital lost 53%, and we're talking 53% of 12 billion. Imagine being an investor. This is awesome. So I need to look into this. This was going to be my last thing I probably want going to talk about. Then I'm going to get going. So Trade Zero, who I don't know anything about Trade Zero. So I need to actually look into this a little more. But apparently Trade Zero told their clearinghouse to go F themselves because they weren't shutting down GME or any other stock. I don't know how true it is. So I don't want to say that this is 100% real, that this is really what they said, because I have not looked into this. I'll hide myself a little bit so y'all can see here. But basically, it looks like a co-founder from Trade Zero basically came on and said, "Hey, his clearinghouse said, look, you got to shut down these stocks," and they said to the clearinghouse, like, "No, we're not shutting them down." They spent the article says they spent a couple hours on the phone with the clearinghouse, and basically the clearinghouse finally just hung up and said, "Fine, you're good. You guys can trade it." How true this article is, I don't know. I've been seeing it passed around on a few other forums. I need to do a little more research to figure out if this was really the case or not. But if this is the case, this is the kind of people we need running Robinhood. I mean, someone suggested Wall Street Bets should now buy Robinhood because it's going to be worthless and we should run it. But these are the types of people. Now, I need to see this whole discussion and He says he tried to post it on Wall Street Bets, but it keeps getting removed. Now, this is the kind of thing that shouldn't be removed. If a co-founder of Trade Zero, it's just hard, man. Our mods are getting blasted with like thousands of things, so they're having a lot of problems trying to moderate right now. But this kind of thing is awesome. Like, these are the kind of places that we want to trade at. And you know what? If this place truly is like that and I do more research and find out they're all good, I might just open an account and put a little bit of money in there to see what they're about. We see commissions, free stock. Let's see, pricing. Free orders, paid orders. Why do they have orders less than 200 shares? Have a 99-cent flat fee. Well, that's weird. That doesn't help everybody. I need to look and see what all orders are, either free or paid. Well, free limit orders, 0% on free limit orders. Paid. I don't know what they mean. I have to look at. Limit order must not create an immediate match. Symbol must trade all orders, so 200 shares or greater. That's not good for a lot of people, a lot of the Robinhood crowd. I'm really happy about this company that they are doing this, but I think that I'm not a big fan. Options, 59 cents. I mean, it's not a lot of money, but it is if you're trading a lot. That's a lot. It'll add up. And especially when I have, like, you know, oh yeah, and you pay for this. When I have like Fidelity, that's just 100% free for all this stuff. Why Trade Zero? Commission-free trades, but you're charging. Huh. I just need to look up more about this company. And so free limit orders, 200 shares or greater. So if you're trading small numbers, like even like, man, even someone like my dad that has like, you know, a lot of money in the market still buys like lots of 100. So, and you know, when you talk about 100 shares of Amazon, that's $300,000. So, you know, that's, you know, can be a lot of money. But I'm happy to see this company and I want to see what they do. And yeah, TD Ameritrade, I've heard good things. I'm not a part of them. I did hear, so people talk about like which of these companies were good and bad during the, during this whole thing, and some people had mentioned TD Ameritrade, but basically what I found out is they did limit margin buying on GME, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a company saying, hey, you know what, we have to limit margin buying because we can't, you know, the amount of money we need, we're taking a big risk by giving you margin on such a wide swing. I'm okay with margin because that's not cash. The problem I had with what Robinhood did is they limited people with cash accounts from buying for no reason, because I'm paying with cash. There shouldn't be any limit. They shouldn't be able to stop me from doing that. So, you know, I'm okay with TD Ameritrade and what a lot of these other companies did, like Webull. If I go to Webull right now, but you know, Webull, I was okay with what they did. They didn't have a choice. Their clearinghouse told them, hey, this is what has to happen. Like, y'all have to, wait, the first comment of this. Hold on. No, I'm not going to search for it. But, you know, Webull, their clearinghouse told them, hey, you got to stop trading these stocks. And there was, I mean, nothing they can do. The other company did tell them to F off and was able to, you know, come into actually something, but make something of it. But, you know, I'm not as mad at Webull or any of these other companies as I am at Robinhood, man. Robinhood, first of all, has their own clearinghouse. They don't even use anyone else. But like TD Ameritrade has their own clearinghouse. Guess what? They didn't shut anybody down. They had a limit margin trading, which that's very understandable. When a stock starts rising up or doing something crazy and we don't want people to be trading on as much margin, I get that because the company's responsible for that money. But man, when you're talking about limiting cash trades, there's a big problem. And that, like, I just can't do that. That's just not right. You know, so I'm okay with TD Ameritrade seemed like they were good. Fidelity was good. They're being promoted as a great. And it's funny, like these big companies like TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and stuff. Man, I don't think they're good companies. I think they're part of this bad system. But like, they didn't do what Robinhood did during this mess. Like they stayed true to their cause, their mission statement, I should say, to clarify that a little bit. They stayed true to their mission statement. So I don't know much about Trade Zero. I actually tried to open up a Webull account and I can't. They won't connect to my bank, which is really weird. I actually can't unless I switch banks, which I'm not going to do because I use Fidelity. I just wanted to be able to trade Bitcoin. It's really and it's the only crypto I trade is this. I don't get in. I'm not in a crypto a lot whatsoever. But the fact that could trade it here for free, I thought was good. It seemed like a good company. They have good like after extended hours trading because Fidelity doesn't allow you to trade crypto. But I couldn't. My bank account doesn't connect. So I'm looking at Binance now, which I think is what I'm going to use for my crypto trading. Otherwise, everything's at Fidelity. I still do have an account with M1 that I've had for like 2 years, and I don't do anything with it, so I'm just keeping it. I mean, that's basically what I was doing with Robinhood at this point anyway. I was just keeping it as is. Wasn't doing anything with it. But yeah, so that's the update. I mean, let's see what happens tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a fun week. I'll probably come on if anything crazy's happening to see like what's going on in the morning. After I work out or before I work out, something like that, to kind of see what's happening with the future market and extended hours trading early in the morning. And man, just go from there. It's going to be a crazy week. So buckle up, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good rest of your weekend. And later